Hello, hello, and welcome back. I'm Claire. This is Purple Poppy, and today I've got a new journal to share with you. Now, I have already filmed this, so some of you may feel you've seen this already, but it was a pretty bad video. Most of the top was chopped off, so I've deleted it and I'm starting again. So if you've already seen this, I apologise. If you haven't, welcome to a new journal. So this one, as you can see, is super chunky. She's 5 inches on that mouth. She is 8.5 by 6.5, I think, and about 2.25 on the spine. She's got 4 signatures in her, lots and lots and lots of ephemera. So, as you can see, she comes with this protective cover. This protective cover is made with reclaimed fabrics. We undo that, and I'm going to turn it round this way so that you can see that this protects the open gaiter mouth. That's why I did it. Now, she's created with lots of reclaimed fabrics. There's clothing, there's sheeting, this is modern lace, and I've done some slow stitch in the maroon to match hubby's pyjamas. On the inside, she's got a little pocket that side and a little pocket this side. The inside is one complete piece lining the outside, so, including a bit of bow, with some rust and iron stains on it. So it's quite solid, and of course you don't have to use it with this journal. You could use it with whatever you wanted to. And then the tie is just bed sheet with pieces of hubby's pyjamas on the end to keep it coordinated. The front, oh, this one is tied up with just a piece of twine, simple bow, it's not attached, it just flies away. Okay, now the front again is all reclaimed fabrics. We've got a Klebat Designs image on the front there, forming the centre of this log cabin. Each of these fabrics has been tea stained, some with rust, and they are all different. This is linen, this is cotton broderie anglaise, this is an old duvet, this is an old sheet. They're all different fabrics. And then as we come onto the spine, you can see the patchwork of all the pieces coming together. And then on the back, we've got all the patchwork pieces again, and to tie in, we've got another piece of hubby's pyjamas and more of this maroon stitching and some more of that rust. Okay, let's get into her, shall we? Now you can see the pieces of tape that I've got to make sure you can see it all, because that was part of the problem that we had with yesterday's video. So when I open her up and you come inside, this is a hardback book. You've got some altered blanket stitch to create this sort of web effect, a little bit of hubby's pyjama, some reclaimed red fabric. So there's a bit of a red theme running through it, but not in an overly strong manner. Now this journal is created using several digitals, and one of the digitals is a vintage journal, and because of that, each of the signatures has been designed to sit with that journal page, which you'll understand as we go through, I hope. So this is some high society ladies having afternoon tea, and that's an image that's been laid over some ledger papers, and the edge has been decorated with this tea-dyed lace. On the back is just printed with some blue and tea splashes. On this page, this journal entry with this beautiful rose. We've got an altered paper clip up there with stamping and people, and then we've just got this photo here. Maybe it's the journal writer's father Who knows? You know I like to make up a story as I go along. On the back, there's just a scan of some laces that I've got. This is a vintage book page. There's a lot of pages in here. Now, this is the journal that I was talking about. So this one should be the second. For some reason, it's been put as the tooth. But anyway, had to be in there because my birthday is the 2nd of March. And it says, today, amidst the lace curtains and velvet drapes, I found solace in the delicate fragrance of the roses, hence the rose that adorned our parlour. Mother insisted on a tea party inviting the ladies of high society. So there you go, ladies of high society having tea. I hope that's becoming a bit more clear now. On this side, I have got 2 pockets. They've both got teacup stacks on them, and on the corner we've got this like collage piece. There's fabric alts, there's an image of a nest and a bird. And then in this top pocket I've got this journaling card which is stamped with one of the beautiful patisserie stamps from Lorna. This is a altered tea bag. We've got blue paint, we've got gold imprint from a leaf and some dried gyp on there. In this bottom pocket we've got another journal card that's been stamped railway dining. It's been stenciled tea party and it's got some like tea rings on it. And then there's another altered tea bag where I've just stitched the bird to go with the bird on the corner there. So that's what's in that pocket. Then on this side, we've got a flip that hides a tuck spot. I've stenciled a stack of teacups there, the same as we got on those papers. And there is a vintage Brook Bond tea card stuck down there under some lace and fabric. And then in this tuck spot, I just stitched on a diagonal pattern. I put some of the maroon knots. You've got rust and tea on there, and it can be used as a journal card or a bookmark. There's another stamped journal card here that again is a stamp by Lorna. And then I've just got a tag here with craft card. The centre's all been stitched and it's got lace and a rusty safety pin on it. So that closes down and comes over. Here we've got one of my altered envelopes. Again, roses and teacups, keeping with the theme of that journal entry. There's an altered postcard here with a vintage image and some black lace, high society lady maybe. And then this is just a little scruffy notebook that sits in there as well. There are also pages that you can journal on and stick things on. This is a page from a vintage legal book. I believe it's 1910. And then we've got a lace pocket on the side here, and it's got these lovely diamonds on the edge. And in there I've got this little collection of journal card that's decorated with a page from my home chat book, November 27th 1897. It's over 100 years old. There's another Lorna stamp there, Paris one. There's an actual original ticket, transport ticket, and then there's this image of a dog. I figured the lady that was writing all these journal entries probably had a big fluffy dog. And then as we come over, we've got this page here. Now this page has had a lot of work done to it. It's tea stained, it's got texture paste there. These poppies have been fussy cut and applied on top of this Kleber image. We've got a little label here. A best friend is someone who makes you laugh even when you think you'll never smile again. And then we've got like a half page here, and on this half page I've used a glassine envelope. There's fabric and an image on. There's a little bit of writing stuck down, and it's all stuck to this thin pocket. And then there's a journal card with book page and decoupage paper there. And then in this very thin pocket at the top, which is quite hard to get into with the camera there, we have got a bookmark, actual bookmark from Westminster Abbey in London. So that's an original piece of ephemera also. And then you've just got decorative paper there. That was the centre, so this is obviously the other legal page. This is the other envelope pocket with the teacups and the roses. We've got a faux cabinet card there. And then we've got 2 vintage cooking adverts, which I thought would be appropriate with a tea party. So we've got strawberries and cream, afternoon fancy nibbles. And obviously you can't prepare for a tea party without having an elegant English electric refrigerator. I think that's lovely. And on the other side there's a Weetabix advert. So they're vintage adverts out of a cookery book that I've got. And then as we come over here, we have got, this is a pocket here with a teacup, and I've put a little slit, and I've put the string and tag of a tea bag. Then here we've got a little flip down decorative secret space, and there's a little card there that holds this tag of 2 friends, because this is the Book of Friends. There's a scrappy tag, and then there's some die stamps, and them sitting in there hold that flap up. There's a plain page there for journaling, and there's another journal entry. This is that blue and tea paper again, and the other ladies that have joined the tea party. So hopefully now you're getting the idea that the signatures have been made to represent those journal entries. This one is, as you can see, haberdashery. We've got a tape measure. This is dress pattern paper that's been stuck to calico. So it's a very strong fabric page. You've got some old fabric there that's been stitched on. This is old pillowcase, button, lace, rusty paper clip. This is a scan of a little needle packet. Another bit of fabric there, and this is an actual card bobbin with some embroidery floss on, and it is edged with, again, this pointed beautiful edging from an old pillowcase. And then on this side you can see it's much deeper, and in here I've made a pocket, and that's that fabric and it's got fabric sample cards. So that's old tea-dyed linen. This is a beautiful old shirt that's got a stitched pattern on it. And then this one is a bit of silky fabric with a lace. This page here is actually a box lid from a set by Sam Paul to create boxes. And these 2 pieces are the sides. But I just thought, you know, the high society ladies, and this is the fashion area, the haberdashery, it went well. So I've made the 2 flaps as a connector. You can undo that and bring them down and up if you want to. I've made the discs by using another piece of that tape measure, and I've just made the disc for the string. This is a scan of an original lace card, and I've just put some lace around it, so that goes in there. And this is just an old coffee dyed receipt in there. There's a vintage book page from that Home Chat magazine, and because these pages are super delicate, I've protected the edge with this array of reclaimed fabrics, and it's on the other side as well. Makes a nice flip, weights it down. And obviously you've got some vintage adverts there. This side we've got a ledger page, got another one of these altered paper clips. This flaps out, And inside is another one of these beautiful scrappy cards with the Kleeback design image on, and that just slots over there like that. It's got tea dyed paper there with a lace edge, so plenty of journeying space. Sears catalogue advert for a sewing machine, again very delicate paper, so protected the edge with some lace. And here is the journal entry for this signature, and it says 5th of June, as I trace the delicate patterns of my embroidery, hence the haberdashery section. I'm not going to read it all because I want some element of surprise for its forever home. Pretty papers again to make your own, and a beautiful sketch of a lady. So I'm thinking maybe, you know, the person who was writing these journal pages is a budding artist. More sewing machine adverts. And then this is a scan of an original embroidery transfer book, and I've popped inside an original 1929 embroidery transfer sheet. There's lots of very old vintage and antique real ephemera in this book, and obviously that is getting harder and harder to get hold of. This page has been decorated with some faux vintage tape. Ledger page. Now on this one I have done the flap again and I've sealed down a pocket with something in it. That one's glued. And then we've got another journal card that's been stenciled with perfumery. So we're in France. There's another faux cabinet card, and there's this haberdashery style tag with lace, and I've stitched all of those buttons onto there. This is another home chat, and again protected the edge with some fabric that I've stitched. There's some faux vintage tape there because there was a small tear in it, and just to, you know, keep it matching, I've stuck another bit down there. This is the back of that cardboard box lid. This is the fabric with the dress pattern on. There's a tea dyed doily there, and in there sits this altered postcard. That's an original vintage stamp. And then I've just made this tag with these friends, some old letter, piece of the old envelope, and a original stamp. And then we're going to signature 3, which the cover of is all papers, all crumpled up papers stuck down in layers. There's vintage book, vintage dictionary, packaging paper, coffee dyed paper. There's one of these Tim Holtz frames. I've treated this with texture paste and tints. There's a real feather to match this pretty little bird that's stuck down on there, and there is a stamp of a stamp. And then as we come over on this page, there is another one of these envelopes that's stuck down with a card. This is an original vintage photo postcard, and this is an original advert page from that legal book. So you could use it as one big advert, or you could break up all the individual ones and use them separately. So that's what's in that pocket. And the journal entry for this signature is August. As I wandered through the sprawling garden, the scent of freshly bloomed roses fills the air, a reminder of the beauty that persists despite the trails of time. Now that feels quite sad to me, and the thoughts of maybe, you know, somebody that writes a lot or portrays their thoughts through art, which is why the sketches are there. On this side we've got that blue and tea again, and this is a book page. So there's a pocket at the back. It's been folded up and down to look like a shirt collar with this lovely bow. There's more of this faux tape, and then there's just a piece of digital kit there that I thought matched the style. There's this 2-layer tag, the top layer being vellum that's been stamped with flowers that the girls are standing behind, the friends, because it is the book of friends. And then we've got our friends with old book pages. I haven't stuck it together in case somebody wanted to separate it for some reason. This is, well, it's an old envelope. I don't know about you, but I remember taking my school dinner money with these. You name your class and how much. I haven't decorated it deliberately. It's just a vintage envelope. You may want to decorate it or not. And this is a plain card inside, because I wasn't quite sure which way somebody would want to go with that envelope. And then we've got some more of these digi stamps that can be torn out and used. And then we've got some faux travel tickets in that pocket. On this side we've got corrugated card, got packaging paper. This is a napkin, this is handmade paper, and this is the napkin again on the top, and this lovely image from Kleeback Designs. Now on this page I've double layered a little area there for strength, punched a hole in it so that I could put this double tag pocket in. You can obviously write on the back. It's got this dome image of flowers there, and this is a Will cigarette card showing the late Queen and Princess Margaret as children. These are books from Witchcraft Do You Do, a couple of tea-dyed napkins, a little date label, and another Kleeback Creations picture. Are they brothers, friends? Who knows? This side I've done a double pocket, so you've got this ledger page which actually wraps all the way round. You've got some embossed paper and a little digi-kit element there. We've got an actual vintage postcard with writing and a stamp that sits in there, and then we've got this stamped poppy seed postal card with old vintage book page in the background. And then we've got this scrappy tag with a Kleeback image, half of a butterfly, and this 3-dimensional flower stamping an old book pages. And that one, whoops, don't damage that flower, that one sits in there like that. Then as we come over, that's that ledger page. There's a bow, sweet scented water lilies. It's an old image there, and we've got a pretty little teacup in blue and yellow from Create with Scrimpy Mummy. We've got 3 travel tickets. They are obviously faux, but they're there to be used. And there is this faux advertising card in there also. If you've been here a while, you know I have a thing about shoes. So we've got this altered paper clip. There's a frame and a person and stamping, and that holds down this flip, which has got, now you probably can't see that, so this is where we run into trouble. There you go. It's got various book pages, Kleeback Designs image of that lady in red, and some lace, and just blank secret journaling space, doily added there for interest. That flaps back down. There's a blank label space there. This paper clip holds it in place, and also I've got this couple's photo that goes under there. And then as we come over this side, we've got a top and a bottom pocket. So we've got this giant card there. Then we've got this medium-sized one with this beautiful bow on the back. Okay, and then we've got this little one there as well. Beautiful roses on this side. And then as we come over, in that paper clip, there is an actual vintage letter from 1958, 3 Queen stamps. It's been sent from SW1 London, England to Sweden, and the actual letter is inside as well. Okay, and then I've also crumpled up and used alcohol ink on this glassine envelope, and there's a beautiful pressed red rose inside. Again, making stories up. Who knows if this rose came from the letter sender or if it was picked whilst out with the person that sent the letter. Who knows? And then there's a scalloped heavy crocheted lace on this page. We've got beautiful writing paper, flowers around the edges, these beautiful roses and a butterfly, that background. And then I have stamped, you can barely see them now, but there's 2 Tim Holtz rose stamps there. And then we've got this maroon rose paper, and this is a magnetised envelope. You could either obviously store stuff in there or you could stick it down, but it's a magnet, it will stay shut and protect whatever's in there. There's some data, some rose petals, and then here we've got a top pocket, and then we've got one of these Tim Holtz placement dies. So they're just plain journal cards all the way down in there. You've got a tall, a medium and a short. Short one's almost a square, and then you've got exactly the same 3 cards that go up in here. Now you can actually put that one behind that one and it will hold it in place. Whoops. And then you've got your medium one again, you can hold that in place with that one, and then you've got your small one which will also sit under there. And then as we come over, that's just coffee dyed. Here I've got an altered envelope, so it's been decorated up, as you can see, with various digital images that have been fussy cut. There's an old earring there, and inside the envelope there's a plain faux postcard that can be decorated up or used. And then that opens and there's lined paper there, and then on the back again various digital images that have been cut. Don't know why, it's a random piece of string there, just felt right at the time. Some faux tape, and this is an index card that can be written on in there, and that's all stuck down to this page that's got these fussy cut roses on. It's another one of the journal digi pages. There's a coffee dyed page there that's been folded over to make a tuck spot. Now I'll be honest, at this point I stopped putting stuff in here because it was just getting so big it was ridiculous. This one is just a flop out of this beautiful teapot with roses in it. Could hide stuff in there if you wanted to. It's also a belly band. And then on this side we've got double envelope, this beautiful triangular lace. Here I've done one of the decorative lunch bags with a rose napkin. Again, as I say, there's nothing in there because it was so chunky. And then there's just 1, 2, 3, 4 embossed white cards that can be used for whatever within the journal or somewhere else. And then as we come over, there's more of that crumpled packaging paper. There's fabrics have been stitched together and then endeared to a piece of card. So there's a tuck pocket there, a little bit of lace. And now we're into signature 4. Now this is wallpaper, library, and here we have got 3 pockets, as you just saw. You've got this little vintage book page under the top one. You've got a faux postcard under that second one, and then there's a stamp of Forever Friends journal card in that front one. There's a vintage label there. This is an original essay that's been typed on that old thin typing paper. This page, packaging paper, various book pages, a couple of labels, Kleeback Designs, image. And then on the back there's an old book page image. I don't know, mother and son, husband and wife, brother and sister, glad to have them home, sad to see them leave, who knows. Coffee dyed page for your use in whatever way. And the last of these journal entries, the 18th of September. The rain fell softly against the window, a gentle melody that soothed my troubled mind. Amidst the flickering candlelight, I found solace in the pages of a beloved novel. Again, hence, I can't even find it now. Hence the reason that we've got this book wallpaper. And then this is a page from a 1909 diary. There's a little bit of writing on it for interesting, if you can read it. I don't know if it's relevant to anyone, but it's Tuesday, January the 5th, Wednesday, the January the 6th, Monday, the 11th of January. That's actually my granddaughter's birthday. And Tuesday, the 12th of January. And on this page, I've got a faux postcard, and I've just made a little notebook with scrappy papers. This is music, Romeo and Juliet, and I've just folded it over, stitched a button, a little bit of card folded in there to act as the holder. Do we need a little bit of, we need a little bit of extra glue under there. Right, I'm going to leave that loose and I'll deal with that in a minute. I'm not going to start turning it upside down to stick glue in it. We'll never get it back in focus. On here we've got journal page again, and we've got one of these die cuts of a negative frame. Here we've got some Tim Holtz dolls and card on a CD case, and there's a little pocket there with two more of these faux advertising cards. They go in there and that flips back down there. And then as we come over, you've got coffee dyed paper and lace, and then there is another altar paper clip, another one of these CD envelopes. I'm wondering now if the friends have started, you know, they've grown much older than the young children on the swing. They're getting partners, they're starting their love story, their life, who knows. And there's a little ticket just stuck there because there was a minor rip in that page. And then in here we've got this paper that I have stamped with advertising stamps. Try and make it look like old newspaper that for whatever reason has been kept. Maybe she really desired that dress or that coat, who knows. But that's stuck behind this pocket, and this pocket has been created using a vintage advert from Maple & Co in London, and that comes over, that comes down, and maybe that's an image of her friend when they were younger. And then on this side, under the paper clip and behind this little flap of collage, is a first day cover 13.5p stamp from Covent Garden. So again, that's an original, and that goes there. And then here we have got paper clip holding down another CD, and there's the actual marriage. So they were together and then they got married. I don't know, I'm just making up stories. You've got a tuck spot on the back and a scrappy card. Perhaps that's her friend, sad that she's on her own now that her friends got married and she doesn't see her as much as she used to. Who knows? And then right at the back here we have got one of these lift up coin type pockets. There's nothing in it. You can undo it, the string opens. like that, and there's book page inside, so that's that one. That just does back up, and then at the back there I've got another 2-layered tag, got butterflies and writing on the vellum, and the friends with a postcard stamp and a stamp on the back. That goes in there, and then there's another faux cabinet card, one of the children in the snow. So there she is. She's a real chunker. I love her to pieces. I'm going to be quite pushed really to get rid of her. Not going to seal her up because I need to stick that piece back down. There she is. I hope you love her. If you're interested in her, she is in my Etsy shop. Be warned, she weighs a lot. She's very chunky. Thank you very much for watching. Stay safe. I'll see you soon.